This is the Nightshade Cult, a podcast macabre.
We bid you welcome. Enter freely and of your own will.
I'm Nick Grimm.
And I'm David Graves.
And we'll be your horror hosts for this dissection of Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett's 2024 quasi-slasher action horror heist comedy, Abigail.
It's definitely more than a quasi-slasher. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, so this is like from this batch of movies Universal came out with, two of them in 2023, and then this was like the final one of Dracula adjacent movies. Mm-hmm. They kind of just like, they're like Renfield, Last Voyage of the Demeter, and this was announced originally as Dracula's Daughter, and then it became Untitled Universal Horror, and then it was finally released as Abigail.
So I liked this movie.
Yes.
But I think it should have kept the Dracula's Daughter name.
Do you? I mean, because it hinges on the twist of the girl being a vampire, but it is all over the marketing for it.
And it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious from Act 2.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that Abigail is too generic.
Yeah.
They needed something that's stylistic, and the thing about titles for movies and books and whatever is you have to, people need to, it's most marketable if people hear it and they know what they're going to get.
Yeah.
So like even something like Last Voyage of the Demeter, you're like, oh, okay, it's going to be about a ship. Okay. Right. Renfield, you probably think vampire, you probably think Dracula.
Yeah.
But Abigail
doesn't tell you anything.
It's just girl name.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
And then you have this poster of the little girl in the ballerina dress.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it doesn't really tell you much. You can tell looking at that poster. I've got it on my phone. You can tell it's a horror movie. It looks like it's a horror movie. But you can't really tell much. And when I told you this is what I had next after Dracula's Daughter, I wanted, if possible, for you to go into it as like blind as possible so that you could experience the twist on some level.
Yeah, I saw it coming very, very early on because, I mean...
You've seen movies before.
I've seen movies before. I've also, I had seen Dracula's Daughter.
Yeah.
I like horror movies and I like Monster in the House as a trope, which this is a Monster in the House.
Very much so.
It starts off as an Ocean's 11 and then it becomes a Monster in the House. And so it's like, okay, cool. I like that because we got to know all of the characters for the Ocean's 11 heist team. They're all cool. They're fun. Yeah. You kind of get these interesting dynamics.
It's a real murderer's row of character actors.
Yeah.
Like, you got a lot of good players in there.
And then you get this really cool locked in a mansion with a vampire. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm in. This is cool.
It's super fun.
And so like I liked all of that. And only in retrospect was I like, why'd they name it Abigail? It means nothing.
You know what? I think the big decider on the naming it Abigail was Megan, the killer doll movie that came out shortly before this. I think they wanted some of that juice, like to be like a Megan.
I mean, they got a little juice from this movie. They made it for $28 million. Opening weekend was $10.2 million, pretty good. Yeah. And it overall box office at $42.4 million. And so then there'll be continued, streaming and all of that. So it was firmly profitable, and in the long run, it will more than double its money. Yeah. So, not
a success.
It's not a loss in any way.
And I mentioned this the other day when we were doing our Mummy movie or our series, that these are the guys that are directing the next Mummy movie.
Yeah, and I think
that totally makes sense. Universal's like, we like what you're doing.
I recently saw something. I don't even know if it was a YouTube video or maybe a movie preview or HBO. Sometimes they show previews or whatever. I saw a thing about that coming Mummy movie.
Lee Cronin's Mummy is being promoted
heavily
right now. That's the one that comes out when we're recording, that comes out this weekend.
Oh, okay. So I saw the preview for that, and I got to talking about The Mummy with Carrie, and talking about how that is not a classic literature-based monster story.
No.
That is a Hollywood creation, but hopefully it's cool. It has become monster canon.
Yeah. And I'm interested in Lee Cronin's Mummy, but I'm more probably interested in Bettinelli-Olpin and Gillette's Mummy, because they're also bringing back Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
Yeah, and I think that'll be cool.
Yeah. They've got the horror comedy thing down.
Yeah, I think this was cool in that it was an adaptation of Dracula's Daughter, because, I mean, you could listen to our Dracula's Daughter episode, and we generally liked that, but the plot line was kind of slow. It didn't have a bunch of action. This was not slow. Mm-hmm. It was very fun, but I like the idea of the seed of Dracula's Daughter. It's a great concept in essence.
Yeah.
And you remember how we were talking, like, then you were like, there's a Dracula's son or whatever, and all of that. Mm-hmm. And we started spitballing another one, Dracula's brother.
Right.
I started writing that.
Did you start writing Dracula's? Oh, I love it.
I started writing Dracula's brother as a comedy. It's comedy horror.
Oh, that'd be fun.
My influences are Dracula, and kind of like The Big Lebowski.
Oh, wow.
Those are kind of my North Stars.
Those are strong. You're setting yourself a very high bar to clear.
Oh, I think it's important to always have your North Star, so if you're not sure what to do, you can think about what would be done.
You're like, what would the Coen brothers do?
Yeah.
What would Bram Stoker think about this?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Wow, I look forward to that. Yeah, it's very interesting, because this is not a remake of Dracula's Daughter in any sense.
No, it's inspired by it.
It's literally like they saw the name Dracula's Daughter and were like, I've got an idea about a little girl vampire. So,
yeah, shout out to Claudia, who is my favorite little girl vampire.
It is such a... And there's a little kid vampire in Near Dark, too. It's a little boy vampire.
Yeah, that's true. And also Let the Right One In.
Yes.
Great child vampire.
It is so evocative and tragic, this idea of someone being locked in as a child, and like the child monster. Like, it brings up all sorts of, like, it's creepy. So it's just like naturally scary, but it's sad. You feel pity and empathy for this being that's locked in as a little kid for for eternity, essentially. It's very fertile ground for storytelling.
I would 100% watch a sequel of this movie, because it ends, and I think it could go on.
Oh, yeah, totally. Except for that the little girl is going to grow up, Alicia Weir, who plays Abigail. You couldn't really keep bringing her back.
No, that's fine. You can recast. That's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the story would be pretty cool. You could
continue with it. Yeah, totally. Well, why don't we roll the music and we'll come back with our dissection. A mixed group of criminal mercenaries kidnap a young ballerina to extort a ransom from her wealthy father. They soon realize that they're the captives, the girl is a vampire, and they are her prey.
Yeah, from the very beginning, when the dude Lambert is like recruiting them for the job or whatever, I'm like, this dude is sus.
Yeah. Well, because it's Giancarlo Esposito, and you're like, we've become so conditioned to see him as a villain. It didn't used to be that way, but he's played so many superb villains at this point that when he shows up,
that guy is a Darth.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, creep. I know. I don't trust anything you're saying to me. Although, like, Does he ever like outright lie to them, or does he just sort of like?
I mean, he tells them the mission, and the mission is not real.
Well, that's true. Okay, so the premise to get them there is a lie for sure.
Yeah, the whole deal is fake.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett, also known as Radio Silence. Written by Stephen Shields and Guy Busick. And, it's solid. It's good. It's a monster in the house. It's a heist movie. It's horror comedy. It's got a lot of different flavors going on and balanced really well.
Yeah, it also reminds me, like, it kind of gives me, I'm sure the Radio Silence guys would not hate this comparison, but it gives me Reservoir Dog vibes.
Oh, totally. Yes, definitely. Usual Suspects is another one, because the whole this hit Lazar. Who's Lazar? Everyone's afraid of Lazar. Yeah. It's very Kaiser Sose. So it's very much paying homage to that. It's paying homage to Dracula in a number of ways. Like, it starts with the music from Swan Lake.
Absolutely.
Which is the opening of Dracula, starts with that music. And so it's tying it into that. And there's a few other things like a B. Lugosi license plate and stuff like that. It's hinting at Dracula kind of all the time through it.
Yeah, I think that this the writing for this movie, the premise is simple.
Yeah.
So when you have a story like this, it's not about in-depth plot lines that are giving. There's really only one twist.
Yeah.
But it's mostly about character interaction and the cleverness of the banter between the characters, and then the execution of the movie, executing excellent action scenes, excellent visuals. Like, this is not a drama that's hinging on a screenplay.
No, not really. And the characters for the most part are very shallow. You know, like, are kind of like Joey and Frank, the Melissa Barrera and Dan Stevens characters, have a little more meat on the bone. The rest of them are just the barest archetypes with the thinnest backstories.
Yeah, they're very basic.
Because they're all cannon fodder. They're all people that are going to die spectacularly at the hands of this vicious little girl.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's fine. Like, I never bumped up against how thin the characters were.
No, because if you're a horror movie fan, there's a certain amount of love letter going on.
Yeah.
And you just accept it for, a victim.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to know more. We know who they are and what their role is here.
Yeah, and all these people are recognizable actors. So, like, you come in, like, Kevin Durand, I always enjoy him. You know what I mean? And, like, the sort of, like, was like, he's a big galoot, but he's French-Canadian, and he's got a good heart, but he's willing to kill a little girl.
Yeah,
you know, like, he's, you know, you kind of, but he's a bit of a dimwit, but he's not a creep. Where the Angus Cloud character is a creep. He's creeping on the girl from the minute he gets there.
Yeah, and rest in power, Angus Cloud.
Yeah,
this was his last performance.
Yeah, I don't really know the guy. He's one of the Euphoria kids.
Yeah. I'm not like a huge fan or anything, but this was his last film, and so it was dedicated to his memory.
Yeah,
so it's worth sweet, shouting. And
he's I don't like the character. Like,
no,
he was the character of all of them that I'm sort of rooting to die. However, that actually is probably. He's playing it well. That doesn't mean that he's giving a bad performance. That is more a credit to him playing this guy that gets on my nerves so much.
Yeah, he took a creep role.
Yeah,
and he And he did it to the T.
Yeah.
So good on you.
Yeah. R.I.P. Angus. I read the other day, because the new season of Euphoria recently started, that they gave his character some sort of happy ending because, in tribute to him, basically, they he didn't get a happy ending in his real life, but we can at least send the character off somewhere good.
Yeah, it's always interesting. How,
obviously, people liked him. That's I guess what we're getting.
Yeah. The people who knew him IRL thought he was a good guy.
Yeah. So you already mentioned Ocean's 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me till today to remember the original Ocean's 11 starred the Rat Pack.
Mm-hmm,
so that's the whole thing of giving them all the Rat Pack names is an homage to Ocean's 11. But now we think of Ocean's 11 as George Clooney and Brad Pitt because they've made a bunch of those movies since then. But the original 1960...
Aren't they up to Ocean's 13 or 14 or something?
Something like that. And there's one where it's all ladies with Sandra Bullock, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these Ocean's movies. I haven't seen any of them.
I saw Ocean's 11, the remake.
The remake.
And it was good.
Yeah. It must be. People really like it.
I'm a fan. So I'm a fan of heist film genre. It's a whole thing.
There's something very satisfying about a well executed heist movie.
Yeah, Brandon Sanderson, one of his most famous novels, Mistborn, is a heist novel, and it's really, really good. It's a fantasy. He pitched it as this is a fantasy Ocean's 11 in a world where the evil empire was victorious. And it's okay, cool. Yeah. I immediately am into that.
I need to watch the Ocean's 11s, probably the Rat Pack one and the first George Clooney one.
Yeah, I think
for sure.
That's enough.
I just watched, we had our 9-year-old niece staying with us for her spring break, and we watched the Bad Guys movies, which
is she 9 already?
Yeah, I know.
Woo.
It's crazy. Which are animated the Big Bad Wolf is the Frank Sinatra / George Clooney role. Yeah. And so they're basically cartoon animals, Ocean's 11 movies. Super fun. They were really good kids movies. But at some point I will have seen enough Ocean's homages that it's I really should see the real thing and understand all the references that are zooming past me. Because I see, this is referencing Ocean's 11, but I don't actually know. Well,
and you're going to watch Ocean's 11 and you're going to be that's Fast and Furious. No, it's Ocean's 11.
Yeah, and Fast and Furious was Point Break.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's in a long lineage of heists and job caper movies. This starts like that and then becomes a monster in the house. It's also structured a lot like Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yeah.
Where you have essentially the first half of the movie is just introducing yourself to the crew, and then the second half is the monster picking people off.
Yeah, I immediately thought of Alien when I was watching this because of the dynamic of the crew and the dynamic of the Marines on Alien. And so it's just okay, I'm into this sort of team vibe thing. And then when it transitions into, oh no, we're locked in here with her.
Yeah.
It's really okay, this is fun. This is a Rorschach moment.
Yeah. Right. Totally. From Dusk Till Dawn is definitely being alluded to, particularly the stuff with Sammy where she's turning but trying to hide it. It's sort of like the Tom Savini, a sex machine in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What else? Master power and control dynamics is another reoccurring theme in the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of abandonment themes, absent fathers, because Abigail and Joey, our daughters, seeking approval from absent fathers. Mm-hmm. This is sort of a
Yeah.
It's a strong theme.
Yeah, absentee parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the puppeteering is it kind of reoccurs, like the Abigail puppets. What's her name? Catherine Newton's character, Sammy, using
cool vampire powers.
Yeah, but then when Frank wants to do the same thing to Joey, he doesn't know how to do it. He's not an ancient vampire. Doesn't know quite how to puppeteer.
Yeah, he's weak.
But that kind of everyone is puppeting each other and manipulating each other on some level from the get-go of this movie, or attempting to.
Yeah.
To various degrees of success.
For sure, yeah. I think that this another interesting storytelling decision that they made was to avoid traditional vampire movie tropes.
Yeah.
Like, this is not Gothic, really.
No.
This has no, there's no castles, there's no name. Dracula's never named.
Yeah,
it's just implied.
I guess they filmed it both ways. When the Matthew Good, who's credited as father,
as Lazar or whatever,
when he shows up, they did it both ways, where he come and says it, says the D word, and they did it the way. In the finished version, where he comes and says, "I've been known by many names," and that is better. Like, that does have more.
I agree.
Yeah, you know who it is. Like, even if we didn't know that this started out its gestation as Dracula's daughter, when he shows up, you're like, "That's Dracula."
Yeah,
like because he comes in with that Dracula presence.
Yeah, but he's not wearing a cape or anything like that, but he's just got the vibes. He has aura, as the kids would say.
Yeah, and when you say, "I've been known by many names," it's like, Dracula, Nosferatu, Count Orlok. Yeah, like, I know all the names.
There are a few more I've been researching as well for Dracula's brother.
Like what? The dragon?
Like, basically every vampire movie or every vampire novel that was written before 1900, I've been chronicling all of them and writing them, because I'm trying to create, not to make this about my fiction, I'm trying to create a gothic historical setting that links them as though they are in the same world, so that they can be referential.
So you're looking into, like, Varney the Vampire?
Oh, yeah. Varney's in there. There's several other, like, Ruthven, Lord Ruthven, who's probably one of the oldest from, like, I think before 1820.
Camilla?
Of course. She's like one of the most important ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
wait,
anyway,
Camilla or Carnilla?
It's Carmilla, actually.
Carmilla. Okay.
Yeah. Carmilla is...
Camilla is the chicken on the Muppets.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about that family, the Karnstein vampires. It's a whole thing.
You're getting into the lore,
the ancient Gothic literature, and this is not Gothic at all, but it's cool because it sort of homages that.
Yeah, the house is Gothic. It's very much like a Gothic haunted house. It's a manor house. IRL. It's the Arthur Guinness party house.
Huh.
This is like where he would throw big bashes, basically.
Wouldn't it be great to just have a house for that?
Because then you never worry about anyone. Like, everything that's in there is...
It's like a prop.
Yeah. It's breakable if people get too rowdy. None of you have
a service that cleans it up.
Yeah, your precious stuff is in your living house.
Yeah.
This is the one... Yeah. And the Guinness... I mean, we can just assume the Guinness family, like, got crunked. Like, that they have a manor house that is 4 parties alludes to that heavily.
Yeah.
They're like, no, not in the good house. Let's do that over here. But the house has very many Gothic details. That library is very cool.
I think that they're homaging that, but I don't think that they would want this to be considered a Gothic horror movie. This is very much a slasher movie.
Yeah.
I think that there are multiple scenes in here where they are glorifying the bloodletting.
Yeah, vampires don't explode in traditional Gothic horrors. That's not a thing they do.
No.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Their take on it. You want to move on to visuals?
Yeah, let's move on, because I'm already kind of thinking of visuals. Cinematography by Aaron Morton, production design by Susan Cullen, costume design by Gwyn Jeffries Howery, and special effects makeup by Liz Byrne, Paul Byrne, and Matthew Smith of Bite Makers Prosthetics.
Yeah, this I really liked how this was. This movie felt dark from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because these are not good guys.
Yeah.
They're planning a kidnapping crime of a little girl from her ballet lessons.
Yeah.
It starts off tonally dark, but also visually this. They're giving you every cue with the color palette, with the way that everyone is portrayed in their costumes and their look. These are not the good guys.
Yeah, they're definitely bad guys, and then when you get all of them together, it's like levels of badness is how you're sorting them out more. None of them are good. There is no hero to this story. And you're right. It is fully in the heist movie mode for that first 15-20 minutes. And the language of it with your getaway driver sitting in the car and the hacker working on her computer to get through the security and everything. The visual language, everything is telling you this is it's a Ocean's 11. It's a heist movie.
Yeah, and it was really cool. I thought that they did some really cool locations, the opening dance sequence is at a theater in Dublin, the house itself, the Guinness Manor. I think that they were really able to choose really cool places for this movie.
Yeah, and Dublin, it's not, especially because it's at night, it's not, and I've never been there, it's not a city that I know the landmarks of.
Yeah.
So I wasn't ever thinking, this is Dublin. It just read to me as, this is any city. This is any big city looks like this.
It read like Europe to me.
Yeah.
Because it was too interesting to be America.
That's fair. You're just too much interesting architecture here. Too much care for the comments.
It's relatively clean.
Yeah. But then when they get in the house, and this is down to the production design, the house is pretty Gothic, especially that library. And they start seeding you clues once you're in the house. There is a reoccurring motif of this imposing man with a little girl.
In paintings and the statue.
In painting, the statue. I think is there a stained glass window with them on it? And you start seeing, even if you weren't...
Imagine that you were Dracula's son and you went to that house.
Do you think...
or does he have a house dedicated
to... Does he have another... He's like, and this is the son or the house I dedicate to Count Alucard. Yeah, I don't know. Because, Abigail tells us that basically he got bored with having a daughter at some point. And this whole thing has just become... she's just on her own, entertaining herself.
And I guess, just thematically, she ceases to be a child at some point, mentally and maturity. And so if you've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, your relationship would mature beyond, you would no longer have a parental relationship.
Yeah.
It would be weird if you were 500 years and still, playing at being parent and child. Even in our short lifespans, our relationships with our parents, they become more like you honor them, but you don't obey them anymore. You're not you're not under their power anymore.
Yeah, it's very messy. And this is you've mentioned Claudia, right? The same thing sort of happens with them, where she reaches a point where this game of being the little girl just loses all appeal for her.
Yeah.
You know, like, and she resents them for it. And then it's like, and then if you're Dracula or Lestat or whatever, you're like, I guess I'll just fuck off somewhere else because I don't have time for this drama.
Yeah, it's like, I'm fucking tired of you too.
Yeah. This is also not fun for me, so I quit. How do you like that?
Yeah. You can't quit because I quit.
Yeah. He's like, and like when he shows up at the end, he's like, you called and I came. Like, I'm still here. Ugh, you're so like, why are you so mad at me for making you a little girl monster for centuries?
I came.
You have this house. You have a swimming pool full of victims downstairs. What more do you want?
Yeah, I think that it's realistic that he would, I don't know if I would say, she said got bored, but I think it is realistic that they would grow apart.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't remain, tight forever, just like normal parents.
Yeah, it's like, I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have at least waited till she was like 16 to do this.
Yeah.
And she could have some sort of normal life. Whoops, my bad.
Yeah.
In the future, I'll remember.
Yeah, so he makes another daughter later on who is like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And then introduces her to Abigail. Imagine how fucking mad Abigail would be.
Yeah. Like there's that scene.
He's like, I learned from you not to do that.
12 is too young. You're having a rough life and it bums me out. That's why I don't come around very much.
Yeah, you're depressing. I have a new daughter.
Yeah, Daddy doesn't have time for these bad feelings.
Yeah, you're bumming me out, kid.
Yeah. Just have your fun. Put them all in the pool and we'll clean it up
Abigail
later.
would kill the new daughter. That would absolutely happen.
Because there's a scene in Interview, right, with Claudia where she's looking at that woman and Lestat is like, oh, you want her? And she's like, I don't want her. Like, I want to be her.
Yeah, that's such a great scene.
Yeah. So, yeah, Abigail got a rough one. I don't condone her mass murder, but
it's a vampire movie.
I do understand where she's coming from. And she's making a point of murdering bad people. Like, she essentially, like, gets herself bad victims to kill. She's sort of a Dexter, like a vigilante.
Just like I condone wolves killing in Yellowstone or whatever in the woods, I condone vampires killing. It's their natural way.
Yeah.
And she's choosing to do so as ethically as possible.
Well, arguably she's torturing them before she
they're
does
bad people, so you could also argue that they're getting
they deserve it.
Karma.
This is their comeuppance.
Yeah, she might be, maybe she's like representing their victims.
Yeah, that's true, right? Justice for Abigail. I think Abigail did nothing wrong.
I never considered Abigail the villain of this movie.
No,
even though she murdered the shit out of most of people.
I don't feel like I'm ever rooting for them to kill her at any point.
I'm rooting for her.
And when her and what is it, Joey? Is
Joey,
that Barrera's character? Yeah, when her and Joey team up, I am happy with that. Like, that's like, yeah, stick it to all these scumbags. I want you two to make it.
Yeah, the only characters that I liked really were Abigail and Joey, and then I also kind of liked Frank, the former cop guy, but he's
a prick.
He's a prick, but I liked him.
Yeah, because it's Dan Stevens, and you can't help it. I like Rickles, the Marine dude.
Yeah, he was a little one note, but he was one note honorable guy. Yeah, like that was his thing. Oh, I'm a sniper, but I'm not a scumbag.
Yeah, and Sammy is clearly like in over her head, and you have a little bit of sympathy for her because she's just a hacker that has basically got herself in too deep, essentially. She basically, she's good for some comedy stuff, you know, referencing Anne Rice and True Blood and stuff. But I never rooted against Abigail. Yeah. Anyway, so on visuals, I loved how much emphasis they had on practical effects rather than just digitally everything. Just
gallons of blood.
Yeah, oh God. And
so much blood.
And this is something Radio Silence is known for, is exploding bodies spectacularly. The Ready or Not movies both feature exploding exploding live bodies that become liquid corpses. And this movie, just like every time someone explodes, it is always a surprise and like shockingly fun. Like it's like I laughed every time someone
when the
blew up.
first person, because I didn't know to expect that, when the first person exploded, I was like, whoa, okay, it's that kind of game.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I want more now.
Yeah,
it was
exactly. It's totally like that.
I was not expecting it, and it just it endeared the film to me because it was so stylistic.
Yeah. I heard at one critic screening in the UK, someone threw up in the theater when Dan Stevens' character exploded. The person just like threw up in their popcorn.
That's crazy. Whatever. They got past the pool full of corpses.
The pool full of corpses.
That was the grossest part.
Had me kind of like I was not in danger of throwing up, but I made some sounds because it is so viscerally upsetting.
Yeah.
And she is, until she like burns up or whatever in the sun, that character is covered in the corpse goop for the rest of the movie. And I couldn't stop thinking about what she must smell like. It just like, I was like, why don't you just excuse yourself and go take a shower? I'm sure no one will, like Abigail will honor a truce and let you wash off.
Yeah.
No one wants to smell this. And I was just so upset by the corpse pool.
Yeah, the corpse pool was definitely a highlight for me. I was just like, this is so gross. I absolutely love it. Because this is just viscerally disgusting.
Yeah. This is a very gooey, slimy, like it is a very visceral movie for sure.
Yeah, I really did like it. And I liked how, speaking of visuals, I liked how they made the vampires look, like with dilated eyes and the rows of sharp teeth.
Yeah.
This was not Bela Lugosi's vampire.
No. And Matthew Smith, I was looking at his Instagram, I think he did maybe some of the teeth on Sinners, and which are different style of vampire teeth. Like, but this is what he does: is makes terrible maws full of teeth, and they're almost like sharky sort of teeth in this one. And it's God, there's so much. Like, this is a very tactile movie. You feel the things that are happening. Like when Kevin Durant's character, I think he's got like a cross necklace, and Abigail takes it and stabs him 1,000,000 times with the little cross necklace.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, not a lethal wound, but an extremely upsetting wound. Like, it's like you would hurt so much.
Death by 1,000 bludgeoning cuts, like literally being cut with a blunt object.
It's not sharp. It's like being tenderized like a steak. Yeah. Just jabbed with a fork a bunch of times.
Absolutely.
And there's so many moments in this movie that just like they're funny, and I enjoy them on that sort of being like a horror hound sort of way. But like, you feel them, like you cringe, like when the girl is being puppeted to the Danzig song,
Sammy, yeah,
and as she passes through the rays of sunlight, she's smoking.
Yes,
like, and you're just sort of like, oh God, like you're just cringing for her through that whole thing. Or like when Kevin Durant is stabbed with the cross, and like just all of these, like everyone gets 1,000,000 very painful but not life-threatening wounds like throughout the movie, and you're just like, oh God, it would just hurt so bad.
It's a really brutal movie, and I liked it. I like that about it. It was really fun.
It is. That's not easy to do so much but never kind of lose the funny of it. Like, it always stays funny. It never crosses over into torture porn, but it still makes you feel like, oh, good. Like, you just, like, I felt squiggy so many times throughout this movie.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought that they did a great job making it look really harsh and really gnarly.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And kind of on that same note, you got your sound design by Eric Adal. It's squelchy, it's squirty, like the sound design is also, it's like, it's that visual and the sound playing together to give you that uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, the sound design is really good. I think that this movie sounds excellent, and it's not over the top. Like, they use music well, but they also have sound effects well. It was the audio was an outstanding portion of it.
Yeah, I was all prepared to say that Brian Tyler's score was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I was gonna kind of be like adequate. But the more I listen to it, it is very effective. It's really propulsive. Something I always want when I'm listening to a movie score is to have the visuals of the movie in my head when I'm listening to the different passages of the score. And it does that. Like, you're like, oh, this is the corpse pool. This is the library. Like, this is when Angus Cloud gets his head torn off in the kitchen. Like, the different songs conjure up those images in your head. And Brian Tyler, you love those Tyler Sheridan Yellowstone shows. He's done all the music for like all of those shows. Yeah,
like if you're not into the substance of the you know, as Carrie will so bluntly put it, she likes, you like cowboy bang bang genre. If you're not into cowboy bang bang genre, you can at least appreciate the music, because every one of those shows and the prequels sounds amazing. Like the score, like the opening sequence, all of the stuff. Like, Brian Tyler's music is really good.
Yeah,
he's excellent. And so when I was listening to this, I was like, where do I know this from? Like, this is a vibe.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I like this.
I watched seasons.
I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did the score to Transformers 1, which is one of what I would say one of the only good Transformers movies.
And Iron Man 3, which is not the best Iron Man.
But it's not the worst Iron Man either. It's right in the middle. Which is ironic because it's at the end of the trilogy. But yeah, it is not the best Iron Man, but it's not Iron Man 2. Yeah, Brian Tyler, pretty good.
Yeah. This guy's got a future. He'll keep working.
Yes.
He doesn't have to, though. He's probably got it like that.
Oh, residuals on Avengers Age of Ultron probably have got him doing whatever he wants with his life. Should we get into the performances?
Yeah.
Melissa Barrera as Joey / Ana Lucia Cruz. She was a military medic and a recovering addict, and she is the final girl of our story.
Yeah, and she's re-teamed with the Radio Silence guys after doing Scream.
Yeah, she's in one. They like her. She likes them. I think she got fired from Scream. I might be conflating her with one of the other young ladies from that franchise, but I believe she got fired from Scream, whatever the next one was going to be, and they left the project kind of in solidarity with her.
Oh, okay.
I think so. They're tight, though. That's the impression I have.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and she's good. She's a good final girl. She's a good Ripley. She's a good Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I liked this character. So the performance was excellent.
Yeah.
The thing I didn't like about the character was some of the writing. Like, I don't like that, like, her life is somehow more valuable, or she somehow has more conviction or whatever because she has a kid.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. That's fine. But it could just be a recovering addict trying to be a good person. Like, I don't know if having like a picture, her son's picture or whatever, I don't know. That didn't resonate with me. I was just like, nah.
It is one of those things where the thinness of the characters shows.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's meant to be the big connection between her and Abigail, right?
Yeah, she's like, I have a child. You're a child.
Yeah, it's like, I have a child that I'm longing to see, and you have a parent you long for approval from, and that sort of bonds them together. And it is like the thinnest of connections for them to form their alliance.
Yeah, it's a little weak.
Yeah, because you don't, when you get to the scene where Abigail holds out her pinky at the end, I am like, yeah, remember the pinky promise. But I'm not in any danger of rolling a tear.
No.
Like, I have no... I want the two girls to team up, but it's not because I'm emotionally attached to the story.
Yes.
You know, it's just not that deep, really.
Yeah, I would have been okay with Abigail devouring Joey at the end.
Would you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Vampires gonna do what vampires do.
Yeah, I like that Joey made it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think I like that Abigail should have been the final girl and the slasher.
And kills Dracula,
yeah.
too. And she's like, and now I'm the Lord of the Vampires.
Well, I think that's the sequel. She's got Going After Dad has to be the sequel. Vampire Hunter with Joey, that should be the sequel. That'd be fun.
That could be fun, yeah. We didn't really talk about this, but what do you think about how fast and loose they play with the rules of vampires? Because, like, Joey gets halfway turned and then cured, basically, when they kill Frank. And that felt a little easy, but, like, I'm willing to go with it, but it felt a little, like,
I
maybe
agree.
You're being too loose.
I agree that was a little bit cheap.
Yeah.
It was an attempt to make you care.
Yeah. It's because she's not... I mean, I understand it by their logic. It's because she never shared blood with him, right?
Yeah,
so he basically enthralled her. He didn't fully turn her.
She wasn't going to be a full vampire. She was going to be a thrall or
a ghoul.
Yeah, some half vampire, whatever.
Yeah, Domfear.
But so I'm fine with some of that. It's fine. This is not a serious vampire movie.
That's true.
If it's a serious vampire movie, I need to know the rules.
Yeah.
I need. I actually got that shouts to my mother-in-law who read my entire first vampire book. She one of the things that she actually said was, I need to know the rules of these vampires earlier.
Oh, okay.
Because she likes vampire stuff.
Yeah.
She's read lots of vampire books. And so I was like, okay, that's great feedback.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how I feel like if it's a serious vampire property, which I'm very into, I need to know the rules. But if it's a horror comedy slasher, I just kind of go with it.
I sort of like the finding out the rules in real time with the characters, the way that they do it in this, because it's like, obviously certain things work. Sunlight works spectacularly.
Yeah,
they blow up.
There's a core part of the mythos. That's why Twilight is bad.
Yeah, the stake through the heart, that works.
Mm-hmm.
You can shoot them in the head, they come right back. So bullets, that doesn't work. Garlic, nothing. The cross, nothing.
I think that they do a good job of showing you rather than telling you the rules
through trial and error.
And I'm okay with them not obeying Stoker-isms or whatever, because vampires transcend just Bram Stoker.
And I don't think that they ever conflict with their own rules.
Yeah, as long as you have internal consistency, that's fine.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay. So, should we move on? What
Yeah.
do you want to do next?
How about Alicia Weir?
Alicia Weir is Abigail, centuries-old vampire in the appearance of a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, the actress was 14 years old when she made this, and she was best known from playing Matilda in Matilda the Musical.
Yeah.
And she was really good.
Oh, God. So good.
I normally I am like a notorious child actor hater. No, this one was fucking on point.
And
that was a ballet reference.
Yeah. And, well, obviously, her background, musical theater, serves her very well here because there's so much dancing for her to do.
Yeah, and she did like a 3-month ballet course before this just to be perfectly ready.
Yeah, and like the wire work stuff is crazy with her like running up the banisters like the bride in Kill Bill. Actually, I mean, apologies to Uma Thurman, better than the bride in Kill Bill. I think she executes some of those moves better.
Has anyone ever said, dang, Uma Thurman, she's such a great character actor? No, she just plays her damn self. It's just like she's like, oh God, I can't even think of his name. Samuel L. Jackson, just the same. you're like the same.
Everyone that's in Quentin Tarantino movies just plays themselves.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean,
John Travolta, just John Travolta.
That's a whole other podcast.
But you hire the people because you want them for their thing.
Yeah.
Not because you want them to play the character you wrote. Whereas Alicia Weir played a very convincing character. And one of the cool things Dan Stevens said, he didn't even know that she was Irish until after the read when she did it in a full, perfect American accent.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's really good and scary and does these sort of funny like crab walk things that are so like off-putting and unnatural looking. Like you said, she is funny. Mm-hmm. She is empathetic. Of all of the characters, she is the one that you empathize with the most.
She's the best character in the movie. Like it's named after her.
It's why they called it Abigail, because she really is the thing that the whole movie hangs on.
So could they have named it, not to always keep going back to the name, it's about her, could they have called it like Immortal Daughter, or I don't know, something, or like I don't know.
I don't hate the name Abigail.
I definitely do. I think that's a weakness.
Okay.
Because it's a do-nothing title.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's evocative somehow.
So let's say I pitch, like I'm like, okay, I have a new project, a new fiction. The name for it is Alex. Mm-hmm. That's what it's called. You know what it's about?
I was like, is it a Clockwork Orange
prequel? It's a space opera.
It's true. Like
it's a do-nothing title.
You're not wrong, but I don't mind it.
Okay.
But and anything else is going to, like, Immortal Daughter, Dracula's Daughter, whatever, Killer Ballerina, anything.
Oh yeah,
anything you call it is going to spoil the twist, which the marketing also spoils the twist. But I don't know, Abigail. It is a do-nothing title, but it is the ambiguity has power.
So you are saying that the twist is why they have an ambiguous title, but I would push back and say this twist is no twist.
Yeah,
it's fucking obvious.
No, I mean what they said in the interview I listened to was the title. It's inspired by Alien and Jaws, where it's one word titles.
But those titles tell you what it's about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jaws is ambiguous.
They could have named this Fangs.
That's true. Well, actually, yes. You could call it Fangs, and you would be like, who's the vampire? You know?
Yeah, there's a vampire in this movie.
That does preserve the twist more than Abigail does. But then you've got, from a marketing standpoint, you've got that Megan factor. Megan was a surprise hit, and you want some of that, like...
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, so which one of these... Tell me what these movies are about. We got Abigail, Megan, and Marley.
Yeah.
That's about a dog.
That's Marley and me.
Oh, my bad. I'm sure you could. So, like, all of these.
And Megan was like, I think the A is a 4 or something. There's something in it that alludes to Megan as a robot in the way they do the title. So you say Abigail, but there's fangs.
On little blood drops.
On
there
the
we
logo.
Go. Make it like an old Metallica thing.
Yeah.
The
Abigail in the Metallica font. That works.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, Alicia Weir is not responsible for the title
she's
or
good.
marketing.
Radio Silence, bad idea. Good movie, but bad idea on the title.
Okay. All right. Next, probably Dan Stevens as Frank.
He's good.
Adam Barrett, corrupt former police detective.
Mm-hmm.
All caps are bastards, has not been proven wrong yet. You kind of think maybe this guy, he almost teases you with like a sort of heroic twist at the end. You're like, he's coming around. He's finding the inherent goodness in him, and then he's like, "Fuck it, bite me."
Yeah, he's like, I accept. Make me a vampire. I'm fucking down. So I was watching this with Carrie because she's a fan of vampires too.
Yeah,
and I just looked over and I go, "Is there a world in which you get the offer and you say no?" She goes, "Absolutely not. You take the offer. You become a vampire." Yeah, I mean, Frank, yeah, he did. He made the right choice.
Yeah, I knew when that happened. I was like, "Oh, David's going to be very happy with this."
Well, it would be so dumb if he didn't, because he was literally, the character had been built up through the entire movie to be the smartest one in the group,
or at least he thinks so.
Well, he's the only one who's maybe as smart as him as far as like deduction and all this stuff is maybe Joey.
Right.
Even the hacker gal is a little bit naive and foolish.
Yeah.
So
she's smart about computers.
Yeah, she's just naive. Yeah. So Frank is like the smartest guy in the room. That's the sort of the trope. Mm-hmm. And also a scumbag.
Yeah.
So
he has nothing to lose.
Yeah, smart scumbag, you take the vampire offer. There's no nobility there.
Yes.
The only way you say no is if you're trying to show that you're like a noble, good guy who would never become a vampire.
He's already left society, essentially, and is living in the fringes. He has nothing to lose and everything to gain from the power of being a vampire.
Yeah.
It makes total sense when his character does that.
And then he'd be like the grandchild of Dracula.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Not bad.
No one calls grandson of Dracula. That's not a movie.
Could be.
you're like, it could be a horror comedy book. I'll put it in the notes.
God, no. I have too many projects.
Yeah. Dan Stevens, I actually expected him to die earlier in the movie, and Lisa was like, Dan Stevens is going to be one, is going to make it to the end. And I was like, I don't know. You might be overestimating how big of a movie star he is. But he made it very far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, like, the big star's going to make it. Like, Giancarlo Esposito is going to make it a long time.
Yes. But he's
a big star.
He exploded, right?
He died, but he made it a long time.
Yes, true. He was in the walls the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's much further down my list, but since you brought him up, we'll talk about...
He was Lambert.
Yes, the criminal mastermind that... Is he enthralled to Abigail, or is he enthralled to the father? Who do you think?
I don't know. I think probably Abigail.
Yeah.
I think he probably works for her. He's like a guy who goes and gets her food. He's like a...
He's her Renfield.
Yeah. Well, is he a Renfield, or is he the child? I think he's a child.
Well, he's the...
Because he makes a vampire, right?
Right. So he's not... He's more than a ghoul, but he is enthralled to her. But he says something about how they have his family. Like, essentially, he can't betray them because his family would be in danger.
Well, and if we assume that Stoker is the canon, it is known that Dracula, and probably by association, his daughter has mind control powers.
Yeah.
Like, so he could be a full vampire and just kind of be whammoed, you know, like
she still has control.
Yeah, he has dominance. She made him a vampire, and she has power over him,
right?
And leverage.
She's the sire.
Yeah,
that makes sense. How old do you think he is? because I'm going to think...
He seems like he's from the 1900s, like...
But from the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Because when he's like, I need to give these people names so they don't use their real names, and he goes to the Rat Pack.
Yeah, I was thinking he was probably like, he was a guy who was like a wise guy or whatever in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah. Totally tracks, and just another solid... I mean, like you mentioned just a second ago, Samuel L. Jackson. Giancarlo is in that sort of like... You know what you're getting when he shows up, essentially. He's going to deliver the goods.
Yeah, he's like a really intense bad guy.
Yeah, usually. Every once in a while he's a good guy, but not...
Yeah.
It's funny to see the earlier stuff, like the Spike Lee movies and stuff, when he did more variety. And you're like, oh yeah, this guy, he's been around forever, and he used to do stuff other than villains.
Yeah.
But he's so good at being villains. You just want him to keep playing them.
I think that he was really good. So I guess next up we have Kevin Durand as Peter, the French-Canadian dimwit.
Mm-hmm. Was he too stupid for you?
I mean...
Because
I believe that you could be a big, brutish oaf who is sort of has a low cunning, but a low intelligence as well.
Yeah. I liked him, and there's something sweet about his character. Like, he's very, like, he's a little Lenny of Mice and Men. Something in his sort of dimness makes him seem like childlike, and you sort of are endeared to him. But he's the one that, like, when they're like, we need to hurt the little girl or whatever, he's like, oh, I'll do it,
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I'll go upstairs and torture the girl.
He's a team player.
Yeah. He doesn't... I mean, Kevin Durand is a good actor because he plays it like, that's what they bring me here for, is to do this stuff because I'm strong.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem like he wants to do it in the slightest, but he is resigned to it because it's his role in the crew. And I really like the relationship between him and Sammy, like I sort of mentioned, like the way the Angus Cloud character is creepy towards her right from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Durand's character never sexualizes her, and low bar or whatever. But
he was decent.
He was decent to her. I appreciate it. In a room full of scumbags, he seemed to have some sort of like code of conduct for himself.
Yeah.
And I liked it, and I always like this guy. This whole cast is people that I generally go, that person's going to do a good job when I see them.
Yeah, I think so. We got Catherine Newton as Sammy.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She's a trooper.
Yeah.
Swims through a pool full of corpses.
She gets to like become I guess she becomes a thrall or something.
Or a half vampire, or not a full... She never drinks the blood, but she is susceptible to sunlight. So she's like on the road.
It depends on your mythology.
Yeah.
There are some mythologies where a master vampire has to fully create you intentionally, but you could also be infected with vampirism, but they didn't increase. So then you are a lesser vampire, or not half vampire. That's the wrong word.
Like Asterion.
Oh yeah, or a white, depending on the term or the place.
She's a spawn.
Yeah, she is a spawn. In D&D, she'd be a spawn.
Yes.
That's the canon.
That is the canon. She's a vampire spawn, and but she is still very much enthralled to Abigail. No, does not have any juice of her own.
No.
It's a great... I think she is really great in it. You feel for her when she falls in the corpses. The dance scene with her is great. Just a great little performance.
Absolutely. I think that Catherine Newton was amazing in this movie.
Yeah. I guess that brings us to Will Catlett as Rickles. Rickles is one of the only ones we don't know his real name. like everyone else has a real name. Like Sammy's Jessica Herney, and Peter is Terrence LaCroix. Rickles gets his throat slit before we find out who he really is.
Yeah.
One note, but solid.
Yeah. Yeah. Sort of like Matthew Good as Christophe Lazar. Kind of one note.
Yeah.
He shows up at the end.
It's easy because he's on that, A Discovery of Witches. He plays a vampire on that.
Yeah.
He has vampire on deck. Like, it's one of his flavors that he's ready to do. So it's just like an easy casting.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that was good.
Yeah.
He made a good Dracula.
And he's what's his name from Watchmen? Not Agamemnon. What's the Ozymandias? Yeah, he's Ozymandias from Watchmen. Then finally, the late great Angus Cloud is Dean.
Douchebag character. Portrayed well.
He's got that big scar on the side of his head because they were talking about, like, you're not a professional, right? And you're reckless, blah blah blah. And I was like, he's got a TBI. Look at the side of his head. Of course, this guy is a risk taker. Like, it's just, I don't know if Angus has one or if that's a character detail, but like that big scar, it's like, this guy's got a brain injury. That's why you act like that. It makes you make bad choices.
Yeah, you get a little loopy there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess all of his castmates praised him for warmth and humor on set. Everyone really liked him. So
he seems like a guy you would like. I mean, It just seems like he's probably like everybody's homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, R.I.P. Angus Cloud. We hardly knew you, but well done.
Yeah.
So, what's your personal highlight?
I mean, you were talking about it a little bit while you were talking about the Sammy character. Mm-hmm. I think that the marionette ballet sequence where Abigail is she's transformed Sammy, and she's forcing her to perform the dance routine, and there's got the Danzig's Blood and Tears, and it's going between the two ladies, the two characters cutting back and forth, and basically this scene, it's like a set piece in the movie. It kind of crystallizes the gothic horror, the dark humor, it shows like really great choreography, but also really great editing and just the cinematography of it all, and just the unsettling manner of a vampire playing with its food.
Yeah.
I thought that scene really was that scene really brought it all together. Yeah. And I didn't expect that would be my highlight, but as I was thinking about it, I just think that was kind of like that was the crescendo of the movie.
Yeah.
So what about you? What's your personal highlight?
We are unanimous.
Oh, man.
This was also my personal highlight. You mentioned the choreography. The choreography is by Belinda Murphy, and it was just in the script. It's just a couple lines. It just says Sammy dances around the body, and that was all that was there. And they built this whole set piece out of that, and it is one of the highlights of the movie. And it helps. I love the Danzig song, and I'll let the Cultists know the first 4 Danzig albums are finally available on vinyl again.
Ooh.
So this is Blood and Tears is from Danzig 2. If you want to go out and buy that, it's in all the record stores now. You can go get a reasonable priced copy of Danzig 2 on vinyl.
Yeah, the first 4 Danzig albums are all gold.
Unimpeachable.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, so I love the song. I love... like you said, it's the way there's this sort of Abigail's dancing is smooth and graceful, right? But Sammy's dancing is herky-jerky and like she's like a marionette, and it's just so well played by both women, like you said, and it is edited brilliantly the way it cuts back and is set to the song. So the whole thing just like is a slam dunk. I just really loved the sequence. And the song just was like stuck in my head for days after watching this. I don't know. Runner up, the corpse pool has come up a bunch of times.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It is not my highlight. It could not be my highlight, but it is the thing that upset me the most in the movie. It was the most disgusting thing in the movie.
Absolutely. It was gnarly.
Yeah. So, what worked for you?
I think Alicia Weir was amazing. She did a really great job acting as the innocent captive before the turn, the twist. But then also the reveal of her as a monster was terrifying. It was awesome. It was really, really well done from a child, a young lady. I thought that was awesome. I also liked that this movie... It found the Goldilocks point between horror and comedy.
Yeah.
It was just right.
Right. I agree with that.
That was absolute. It's hard to do that. Like
even like stuff that we love, like the Evil Dead movies, do sometimes go a little too far one way or the other.
Yeah, and this was great. And then I think. The structure. I mean, I'm a wonk for story tropes and structures and all of that. I have books about it on my shelf.
Yeah.
I love how they did a twist. They started us off with a classic, like a Reservoir Dogs style thing.
Yeah.
And then they twisted it up into a Monster in the House slasher flick. And I was just like, just from a perspective of a fan of this genre and these stories, I just thought it was cleverly done.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to like do something weird and avant-garde. Yeah. They were just doing like a cool twist that was seamlessly done. It wasn't jarring at all. It was actually a smooth transition.
Yeah.
And I just think that overall, this movie did a great job being a vampire movie, but also being lighthearted and enjoyable the whole way through.
Totally.
So what about you? What worked for you?
Number one, it's just really fun. I mean, this is like a lot of what you're saying, but I laughed. I was legitimately grossed out. I was invested in the characters. I was occasionally surprised, even though I knew Abigail is a vampire and I knew the big twist. There were still moments that I was like, the Leonardo DiCaprio leaning forward and pointing at the TV meme. Like, I'm like, oh, look at that. Like, it's still, even though I knew what was coming on some level, I still was caught up in the twists. And it's just a really well executed splatterfest. Yeah. Number two, Abigail. I love the evil little girl. I think the child vampire is such a powerful, evocative trope. And this is a great example of it. It's right there with Claudia and with the little boy in Near Dark, and like you mentioned, let the right one in. Like, this is on the Mount Rushmore of child vampires. I think Abigail goes up there.
Yeah.
And then finally, the practical effects. I love the teeth. I love the corpse pool. I love the exploding bodies. I love all of the, like, it would be untrue to say there was like no CG in this movie. There's plenty of it.
Sure.
But when possible, things are done practically and then augmented with the CG. And because it is so practical, everything is tactile and visceral and just feels real to you. Like, not realistic, but real in the world that it's in. And that's just so much fun to me. What didn't work for you?
So, I mean, the marketing gives it away. It's obviously like when you were like, we're doing Abigail, and you were vague about it. Yeah. And I was like, and
I said it's vaguely connected to Dracula.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, okay. So the 2024 movie, great. And I look it up to figure out where I can stream it. And I was like, oh, it's a vampire movie. Cool. It's about Dracula's daughter, this little gross vampire. Cool.
Yeah.
the marketing, they give it away immediately.
Yeah.
So the whole point of having a mysteriously vague name is entirely defeated by the fact that every single piece of marketing tells you it's about a child vampire named Abigail.
Yes, that's absolutely
That's so
true.
stupid. I did enjoy. So next point, I did enjoy this movie, and I thought it was paced well, but at 109 minutes, I do think there was some Act 2 padding that could have been cut. There were a few little things, like, not to like say that, it's tragic that Angus Cloud is passed, but some of the stuff with him and Sammy and stuff could have just been cut.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that interesting. It just served to make him seem like a douche, and that was well established.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
He's gonna die. He's a douche. All right, move on.
You know that he's the first to die. Once you meet everyone, he's the obvious choice.
Yeah, like the secret sauce to a horror movie is you caring about the victims.
Yeah.
And this is a subversion because they're all villains. And so you kind of root for the killer, but you kind of also are like, ooh, murder's bad.
Yeah, and you're starting to attach yourself to them. You just can't help it.
Yeah, and so we were already in this whole Act 2 being overly long. We were already attached to Sammy. I liked Sammy. I didn't need more little padding. Anyway, moving on. I thought that the attempt, I'm going to call it like a failed attempt at a romantic subplot between Joey and Frank. Maybe there was like a tension thing, or it was just ill-conceived.
I actually never even saw that. Like, they
There's
have no chemistry.
Yeah,
with each
there
other.
are some moments where it seems like the directors are trying to make there be something there, and it's just hard pass. Doesn't pass muster. And I think that ultimately, the only other negative thing I would say about this movie is that it doesn't actually bring anything new to anything.
Yeah.
It's just sort of a bit of a retread of tropes, but done kind of well.
Yeah. It's a remix. Here's some things you like, but you haven't seen them in this order.
This would be like a story that an AI bot would write.
I wouldn't say. I'm not going to go that far. But
maybe that's because people hate AI, but the truth is that AI writes what it knows from its sources. This is just a clever hodgepodge of its sources with not a lot of originality.
Okay.
The originality comes from the performances, not the writing.
Okay.
The writing is a bit derivative.
Yeah.
So what do you got? What didn't work for you?
For me, for the most part, I like this movie very much. But I think the climax drags. And that's a little bit like what you're saying about padding in the back end. Like, the whole... It just, like, the fight with Frank and then him turning Joey and Abigail and him killing, like, he's wounded Abigail and he's bleeding her out.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole thing, it's just, like, a few turns too many. Like, it's not... You're just ready for it to be over before it's over. And I can't quite pin on exactly when that happens. Like, when it's like, this is where you should have wrapped it up. But I just had the sense, like you called it padding a second ago, it felt like they're having so much fun doing stuff, doing practical, throwing people across the room, blood explosions, smoking bodies, all of this stuff. They're having so much fun playing with the toys that the meticulous pacing that the movie had is lost.
Yeah,
and
it
now
used to feel extremely intentional, and then at a certain point, it's not intentional anymore.
Yeah, and so it just gets too messy there at the end, and I think you could have trimmed that all down and had a much tighter, more satisfying climax. As it is, when it finally ends, even though like you leave with mostly good feelings, I just had the sense that ending was dragged out too long. And I didn't actually write this in my notes, but we've mentioned it a few times. The very thinness of the characters occasionally shows through.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you're like, this character, if you really want me to emotionally attach and not just sort of be like, oh, I like that one for this reason. I like because he speaks French. You know, like whatever the sort of shallow thing that you're just attaching to, if you really want that moment when Abigail holds out her pinky and like you want to remember the pinky promise, you have to have a little more than like a sad voicemail in the hallway with her son to get you there.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
To get that actual, if you want the emotion to actually hit, you need more depth there. You don't need more depth to just have fun with this movie. But if you wanted to pull at the heartstrings also, you would have needed to give me a little more depth.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So, final thoughts and ratings.
Final thoughts. I think that it's interesting that this was... I'm glad that they didn't call it Dracula's Daughter.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I do think it needed a retitle because Dracula's Daughter is an iconic queer movie.
Right.
It's super important in that capacity.
Yeah.
And this is about a child. You can't...
You don't want to...
You don't... Yeah, you can't. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
So that's good that they didn't use the same title. I like that they use the same concept, and that's cool. They riffed on the idea that Dracula has a daughter because it's not in the books. It's obviously it's just it's fanfic. So I'm glad they did that, and I wanted to make sure I tossed that in there because I've been harping on the title so much. As far as rating it, it's a really tough one because from a did I like this? Absolutely, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Is it a great film? Not really.
No.
So we don't give 3.5 stars in this podcast because that's where it sits.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and give it the bump. I'm going to give it a 4 because I really liked it.
Yeah.
It's a movie that if someone brought up, oh yeah, did you see Abigail? I'd be like, oh yeah, that was awesome. That says something. The fact that I'm a hater on child actors, the fact that this is a kind of a, I don't know, almost a B movie, a low budget, etc. None of that matters because it was extremely entertaining.
Yeah.
It had a Danzig number in it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm giving it a 4. How about you?
Yeah, I came down on the same side, and it is like a soft 4, but it's like an enthusiastic soft 4. I think like if the spectrum of these sort of like vampire, where it's like it starts as a crime movie and there's a twist and it turns into a vampire movie.
Yeah,
and then you have Sinners like up on the upper echelon, right? And then you have,
some people might say that's a great movie.
And then you have From Dusk Till Dawn as another version of this. Abigail is dead nuts in the middle between those two. I think it is better executed and more consistent than From Dusk Till Dawn.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't have the depth of a Sinners where there is something deeper that they're talking about.
All the social context, all the historical stuff.
None of that is there. There is, maybe there's something about veterans and PTSD.
Child abandonment.
Just the thinnest.
Yeah, it's barely.
It has those themes are present but not explored.
Yes.
You know? So, but it ultimately, like, I do think it's 4. It's so well executed that it earns a 4-star.
And you know, it's actually because we both liked this. It's a tragedy that this movie didn't really get much hype. Yeah. This didn't get this wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
And I like vampire movies. This should have been marketed to me.
Yeah.
Where's your algorithms, bro?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't I know about this movie? Because it didn't make a lot. It didn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
But Rotten Tomatoes, it's got an 83%.
So yeah.
Metacritic 62, IMDb 6.5, Letterboxd 3.2. So
we're a little
generous, but that's because this is for us.
Yeah, and it makes me excited for when the Mummy comes in a couple. I don't know, probably not a couple years, but maybe sometime late next year. I want to watch those Ready or Not movies now because I think that these guys have an aesthetic that I'm into.
I think we're in a horror movie renaissance right now.
There is a lot of good stuff.
It's so good. And we've got like Werewolf coming out soon or Werewolf.
Werewolf, yeah.
We've got so much good stuff. Like, we are in a golden age of horror at this moment.
It's true. And it runs the gamut from Sinners, like...
And Nosferatu. You got to also mention that as another 5-star horror movie.
It's another 5-star, but it's a totally different flavor,
it's
right?
Way darker.
The Robert Eggers thing is so different from Coogler or from Guillermo del Toro, who's all into the melodrama.
Yes, but I love all three of those directors.
Yeah, and that's like... And then you have these Radio Silence guys that want to blow up bodies and just like blood fountains and they're having so much fun, and you can just sort of like go to the buffet and fill your plate up with whatever you want, and I'm digging it. I'm digging all this stuff.
We're in a good moment for horror movie fans. When Sinners blew up at the Oscars, I was like, okay, everyone loves this shit.
Yeah, dude. When one of my coworkers, and this is always it's what people think about Sinners is generally very revealing about them. And so my coworker, he's like, I watched Sinners. I think that movie's overrated. And I just said, watch it again.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? And I was like, it was the best movie last year. And he goes, I just don't really get the hype. I was like, watch it again. It was the best movie that came out last year.
You know, I watched that movie, whatever it was called, the one Best Picture.
Oh, did you watch it?
Because
One Battle After Another?
It was on the in-flight entertainment on my flight.
Perfect.
And I was like, well,
I got the time.
I got 8 hours to kill. And Sinners was better. Sorry, guys. Sinners was better. I saw them both.
I liked One Battle After Another very much.
Yeah, it's a 5-star movie, but it's not better than Sinners.
It's not, but it's like it doesn't have the consistency of Sinners. Like it's got lots of great moments and incredible performances. Not to turn this into an impromptu One Battle After Another, but like, to me, Sinners was a more holistically perfect film than One Battle After Another was.
I felt more in tune with the characters in Sinners.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything in common with those guys, really, but I guess maybe a little with the war veteran thing. But I felt so much empathy when I was watching Sinners. Like, I felt in tune with that movie. Yeah. It just was a weird, like a sympathetic vibration. I don't even know how to describe it. I did not feel that toward One Battle After Another. I just didn't.
Yeah. Well, it's
the difference between liking and loving something. Totally. I loved Sinners. I liked One Battle After Another.
In my life, I will watch Sinners many more times.
Oh yeah.
And I will probably see One Battle After Another like 2 more times in my whole life.
Probably see it 0 more times unless someone else puts it on.
Yeah, it's
because if I'm putting really, we're on a big tangent.
Yeah,
but like, if you're gonna just put on a movie, like it's gonna highly depend on your mood or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh man, I got time for a movie right now, I want to watch something that I really, really like.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to like Nosferatu. The Eggers one, I love that movie. I might even go with Interview with the Vampire. I love that movie.
Yeah, and then you also get the nostalgia bump.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sinners, I'm never going to One Battle After Another because there are worse movies that I like better.
The One Battle is a movie for me personally. That's the sort of movie I watch scenes. You know what I mean? I will watch the scene of Benicio del Toro getting the sobriety test from the cops hundreds of times in my lifetime. That, like, few small beers, I'm going to see that over and over again. You know, like there is moments in that movie that that I will go back to. I don't think I'm gonna sit down for the 3 hour.
What's your put on movie if you're in the mood for a Leonardo DiCaprio flick?
I don't know. I mean, I've never really loved him. I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though. I think
that's really good.
I think that's Tarantino's masterpiece, which not everyone agrees with, but to me,
I thought it was great.
That's his best film, and I love him in that.
Yeah, he's yeah. I was thinking of my favorite roles of him, not that he's the lead of, because one of my favorite roles of his is like Django Unchained.
Oh yeah, he's great.
So great,
he's great
in that movie. He should be in a vampire flick.
Is he not? Has he never been in a vampire movie? You know what? Actually, Romeo and Juliet, I fucking love.
Oh yeah, that's legit. That's probably one of my favorite depictions of that play. It's really good.
Yeah. No, this really is a tangent. The thing, I mean, I like so much about that movie, but the thing that my very, very favorite thing about that movie is by setting it in the modern era, or sort of a nebulously contemporary time, and playing it the way that they do, it makes the Shakespearean dialogue instantly understandable to a modern young person.
Yeah.
Like, it's somehow when you're watching it and they're in period costume and it's set in ye old England, or Fair Verona, rather.
Yeah, it's in Italy, dude.
You're like, I don't understand what they're saying. Like, a lot of people bump up against that dialogue, but that movie is so understandable.
Yeah, when they pull out guns instead of dueling swords.
Yeah, and it says, and it does that punch in close up, and it says like 9mm sword or whatever it says on it. Oh, chef's kiss.
It's so good.
Yeah, great movie. So Sinners, great. Django, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Romeo and Juliet, and also One Battle After Another,
and also Abigail, 4-star movie.
And also Abigail, 4-star movie. Why don't we roll the music and we'll come back with our final segment. Before we delve into the Vault of Darkness, we ask that all initiates of the cult follow us on your favorite social media platforms at Nightshade Cult.
If you've enjoyed this content, help us grow the cult by sharing it with like-minded people and leave us a review wherever you listen.
Do you have any dark tidings?
Nope.
All right, let's roll our dice.
All right,
let's see what we're pulling out.
5.
I got a 6.
Oh, wow.
So I go first, just barely. We have talked a little bit off air. I don't know if we've talked on mic about the subgenres of romantic fantasy.
I know a lot about romantasy,
and cozy fantasy.
Oh yeah,
which you're in the web publishing game now, and these things are huge in that world. And it's very easy to be dismissive of them, especially as guys, as men. We don't get into this stuff.
I mean, people pretend they don't get into it.
But my wife has been heavy into the cozy fantasy world for a while, and because we're both audiobook listeners, as you are also, and I'll come home and I'll catch little snippets sometimes of these books. And I'll find myself, I'm intrigued by these little bits of story that I get. And then I watched this YouTube video the other day. It came up in my algorithm where it was a guy, and he was kind of talking about like why the way Hollywood writes female characters don't resonate with women, and and he kind of went into the romantasy genre and talked about a few of the books and everything. And one of the books was also one of the books that Lisa had really enjoyed. And I was like, you know what? All right. I'm going to check these books out.
Nice.
And so I am recommending the Saint of Steel series by T. Kingfisher, a.k.a. Ursula Vernon. And these are 4 books, or so far 4 of a planned 7 books that are set in the world of the White Rat, which is a fantasy setting that her romantasy books are all set in, and based around these characters, these seven characters who were paladins of the Saint of Steel, who is a god that died. And so they're paladins without a god, and it destroyed their order, and very, very dark stuff, really. Because the priest went mad and burned the temple, and these are the 7 surviving members of their order, essentially, and they're berserker paladins. And when their god was alive, the god, when they went berserk, would guide them. So there was no fear of them harming innocents and things like that because the god steered them. But now they're all severely traumatized, and to some degree, everyone is very afraid of going berserk because they don't know how out of control they're going to get.
Yeah.
Tonally, it's sort of in the same ballpark as a Mighty Nine sort of thing.
Okay.
I don't think... I mean, the romance is front and center. Each one of these books is a romance, generally between traumatized PTSD soldier and quirky, curvy woman.
I understand that dynamic.
Yes, and it's except for book 3, Paladin's Hope. That's a twink and a twunk.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Never checked that one out.
Yeah, you know what? I had that thought. I was like, well, there's not a girl in this one. I don't know if I want to read it. But I also had already, because this character had been seeded through the other books, I'm already sort of in on both halves of the romance. I've been introduced to them.
Gotcha.
I was like, all right. And it's a dungeon crawl book where essentially it's these 2 guys and one more character having to navigate through a dungeon, and it's the most D&D of the 4 books.
That's
essentially
cool.
And enjoyable. It was probably my least favorite of the 4, but it was not. It's not one to skip. If you're into this, it's not one to skip. The romance is front and center in them. There's quite a bit of humor and anachronistic dialogue in the same way that the Critical Role stuff has sort of modern, not fantasy-sounding dialogue to it. Yeah. But also in the way that the Mighty Nine does, the subject matter is actually very heavy. The stuff that surrounds the light parts is quite serious and quite dark. It deals with really bleak stuff, and they're very traumatized people. And I just really enjoyed these books in the same way that I enjoy the Mighty Nine and Vox Machina and stuff like that. It totally fits next to them, and I don't think it really has that much more sex in it than the Critical Role stuff does. They're fairly sexy also.
Yeah, they chat a bit about stuff, but it mostly fades to black. Nobody's talking about anything.
Yes, this is more graphic than that, but it's never graphic in the way George R.R. Martin's books are. Yeah, which he writes about sex in a way I often find uncomfortable. Yeah,
I was recently reading a book or listening to an audiobook, and there was a sex scene that I did not recall because I was listening to it again, and I was like, damn. This is not sexy.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. These books are sexy for them. Even the gay one, it's pretty sexy. The stuff that goes on in it, when in doubt, a woman is going to do a better job at writing sexy sex. That's I don't know if that's a controversial opinion, but that's my opinion. I just think
that's misandry.
Yeah, I just think they're much less likely to be gross than a man is.
Yeah, that was exactly it. I was listening to this audiobook, and then there's gonna be some sexy time going on, and I was like, oh, this is kind of gross.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Ice and Fire books, which we like very much. We're on record fans.
I read them all multiple times.
And I was thinking, is there any sexy sex scene in that whole series? And the only one I can think of
is in the Tower of Winterfell.
With Cersei and Jaime?
Yeah.
Well, that and the one I was going to say was Jon and Ygritte in the cave.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Shay and Tyrion.
Actually, some of those are, but that one ends up going so bad. Jon and Ygritte ends tragically too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just doesn't like love, this Martin. He likes to make his people suffer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I would say all the sex scenes in these books are Jon and Ygritte in the cave. There is not a single Khal Drogo and Dany in
gross.
there. Yeah. Everyone is old. Like, everyone is mature in these books, which I also love. Like, I don't think there's any characters that are, like, under 35.
Well, that's great.
And I'm just like, yeah, this is so, mature people working out their shit and falling in love. I'm totally into that.
The capitalist in me is hard because it's hard to separate when you are interested in creating media in which the only way to make it be successful is to make it appealing, and so you think about what people want. I thought about it. I've explored cozy, I've explored romantasy, on an intellectual level, reading about them, reading about market trends, listening to like book agents talk about these on YouTube videos and stuff, and more power to the people who can write good romantasy.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there that is just smut with like elves and wizards, and that's not my thing. Some people like that. That's fine, whatever. No shame if that's what you're into. But
I also like smut. I'm just not going to listen to 4 books of it.
Yeah, like at work.
Yeah, at work. Yeah, with the windows down, just volume cranked.
Yeah, no. I just could never write it.
Yeah.
For some reason, like I don't have the sensibility for it.
Yeah.
And cozy, I think, is great, and there's a lot of crossover between romantasy and cozy fantasy. Yeah. They're not always together.
Yeah.
That's something I think I could explore, but it doesn't highly interest me, which tells me I shouldn't.
Yeah, it's just not your thing.
You got to do what you got to do, what you care about. But I'm glad that people are getting into these genres, because fantasy is like my perennial favorite.
Yeah,
and the fact that people in this modern era of just wildly variable and plentiful offerings of anything and everything you could want in any form of media, they just want the written word about people in dreamy places. I fucking love it.
Yeah,
that's great.
And I really fell in love with, because like you always talk about when you read something, you're like, oh, this would be a great D&D setting or whatever. The world of the White Rat is a great fantasy setting for a role-playing game, for sure.
Nice.
Because you have all these factions, the different religions, the Temple of the White Rat, the Saints of Steel, like the Hanged Mother or something, which are kind of like the antagonistic cult of all the different religions. It's such a well-conceived sort of fantasy world. It feels like someone's homebrew D&D setting.
It might very well be.
It probably is. I've looked at pictures of Ursula Vernon, and she looks like a big old nerd.
Yeah.
So, she's from the Pacific Northwest. Well, actually, she's military brat, born in Japan, but she's her family's from the Northwest, and she's got a lot of Pacific Northwest Native American tattoos. But I guess that's probably why there's so many military themes in her books, because she grew up in that environment.
Sounds like a cool person.
Yeah, totally would be a homie for sure. What about you? What are you pulling out of the vault?
Well, you earlier referenced Carmilla.
Okay.
So I'm pulling Carmilla out of the vault. Because I've been doing research.
Yeah.
And this is a specific version because Carmilla, it was written in 1872, published by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, and which is an Irish person with that name made me think French. But I looked it up on Audible like you do, and as it turns out, part of your Audible subscription, there's a free audio drama of it, an Audible original.
And that's specifically the one you're recommending?
Because it was really good.
Okay.
They have like an all-star cast. They have Carmilla is read by Rose Leslie from Game of Thrones and Downton Abbey.
Ooh,
David Tennant is in it. No introduction needed, and several other really good actors. And so they do a really good audio drama of it on Audible. It's only like less than 4 hours. So easy.
It's 2 hours and 22
minutes.
Is
it? Okay, so yeah, less than 3 hours. I cut through this in a day and a half. Like I listened to part of it one day and the rest of it the next day. And I really enjoyed it. It was super good. It reminded me of a movie. It really did. It was like it was. This is one of the very first vampire thrillers. It's also super gay.
Yeah.
And it follows this 18-year-old gal named Laura, who she's recounting the story of meeting this intriguing and beautiful house guest named Carmilla, and how they met her when she was they were stranded in a forest after a carriage accident, and how her father who's a widower offers to let Carmilla stay with them while her mother goes and takes care of this urgent business, and meanwhile, there's some world building around Laura's family's manor, how there used to be an ancient family. There's like a ruined, broken down old, and this takes place in Styria, which I learned is a real place. It's in Austria. And I thought it was like a fantasy. It sounds so fantastic.
Because it's the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and it's been all broken up in different ways since then.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like Styria is like there's this old remnant, and there's this ancient family, the Karnstein family, and spoilers, Carmilla's a vampire, and but it's like it's really weird. Like, it's cool because Carmilla is weird.
Yeah.
She's kind of clingy and kind of odd. She's kind of lustful and kind of violent.
Yeah.
And Laura is like super reasonable, like the perspective character. And you later learn that this Carmilla, this is actually Mikarla Karnstein. And you never learn about the fate of the mother, the other person that you presume is also a vampire, but you're not sure. You never learn of her fate, but in the end, Carmilla does get defeated. She meets her end. And so this is
spoiler alert for
this is a
200-year-old.
I don't know. It's only 150 years old, but So this is a really fun. This is like this is Gothic literature in its most primordial form. It's so good. If you like Gothic literature, this is great.
And it predates Dracula for sure.
Bram Stoker has multiple times cited this as a huge influence on his writing. He absolutely loved this tale. And it's short. It's a novella.
I mean, I didn't realize it was so short because I considered listening to it before our last episode, before the Dracula's daughter.
You could hit this in one workday.
Easy. It's a podcast length.
Exactly.
And it's free on Audible.
Yeah, totally worth it. It's very good.
I will listen to this 100%.
I think if you have an Audible subscription, you should just do it because it's just good. And also, it's like, if you're a fan of vampire stuff, like vampires in general, you should know about your origins. And this is one of the earliest ones. This is the first, Dracula's daughter often gets the movie gets the credit for the first gay vampire story on screen. Yeah. This is probably the first gay vampire story in print. And it's about gay women, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Much props to Le Fanu for writing a great book.
Cool.
That's it.
Sounds good.
We'd like to thank you for joining the Nightshade Cult.
And until we meet again, we're wishing you unpleasant dreams.